All right, welcome back. So the GOP nominee, Jim Jordan, is taking his fight to become the next Speaker of the House to the chamber floor, with a vote now scheduled for tomorrow at noon. Going into the weekend, Jordan did not have enough support to win the speakership. But tonight, he's starting to flip a key number of holdouts. Still unclear, though, if he has enough votes to win. Johanna Mosca is a NewsNation contributor and former Obama administration official. She is with us for this part of the conversation. She had some news, by the way, fascinating. I'll get to that in a second. But Mick, let's start with you here first. What are you hearing as it relates to your old colleagues? Jim Jordan, do you think he is the next Speaker of the House?
Yeah, on Friday, I think we talked about this, Blake, and the answer was maybe 20%, 2 chances in 10. I think he's up 50-50 or at least maybe 60-10 right now. Wow. Because he's able to pick up a couple of folks that I never thought he would get. The names don't make any difference. Who are they? They are folks who are appropriators, which means they like to spend money, and they're defense hawks. Now, ordinarily, defense hawks are not necessarily misaligned with the conservative wing of the party. But in this particular circumstance, they're going to want certain assurances regarding Ukraine funding, and that is something that could fracture the Republican Party. So he's getting the support. I think the obvious question is he promising anything to these folks in order for that support? And if so, does that cost him support with another group? So you're back sort of playing the whack-a-mole. If you add 3, do you lose 2 someplace else? But he's made progress in the last 48 hours.
All right. So we go into the weekend. It's Friday night. It's like 9:30, and I get a text from Johanna. And I'm like, what's this about? And I open up the phone, and she's like, you're never going to believe this. I'm on the plane to California, and Hakeem Jeffries is on my flight, and I'm chatting it up with him. Johanna, what did the top Democrat in the House tell you heading into the weekend?
Yeah, it was great, Blake, because we had the whole of the California, the Los Angeles contingent of the delegation, too. So I had walked right up to them because, Mick, we've been talking about this, but Hakeem Jeffries wrote in the Washington Post that he's ready for a bipartisan government and he'll support it. So I asked him, what does that mean? Because, of course, he has 212 of the 217 needed votes. And he said they're ready to support a Republican. Not him. He's saying we'll support a Republican that just wants to govern. To your point, Mick, he wants Ukraine funding. He wants funding for Israel. He wants continuing resolution. He wants to get the government functional. And he said that they are absolutely willing to give Democrats their support. I chatted a little bit more with Adam Schiff and everybody. Can't we throw out some Republican names that we would want to see? And they were saying the problem is that may put Republicans in a precarious situation because they don't necessarily want the Democrats supporting them. Yeah. And that's really the problem with politics, right, is that they know they want a functional government, and the Republicans haven't come to them, and they're not able to say who they want because that would put the Republicans in a bad spot.
How realistic is it what Johanna just laid out, Nick?
The key would be this: at what price? Sure, Hakeem would bring 212 votes. So would I if I were in his shoes, if I had a chance to be the kingmaker. But what's the price? What do I get for it? And what I'm hearing, Johanna, is they want equal representation on the Rules Committee, equal representation on other committees. They want the ability to bring certain specific pieces of legislation to the floor, guaranteed. That's a really, really high price to pay. As you know, Max knows the chances of a coalition government in the House are, listen, it's not zero because we're in strange times, but it would be highly unusual that you did a Democrat supporting a Republican without a really high price to pay.
Mick's reading is spot on. This is, Democrats are playing politics here, and I love them for it. This is a Republican-held House, and the House of Representatives is a parliamentary system. Now, what is fascinating here, and generally I think it's astounding, is the way in which Jim Jordan has steamrolled his own caucus. We went from 50 on Friday down to less than 10 today.
Holdouts, you mean?
Yeah, holdouts to include many people that are representing swing districts, Biden districts. God knows what the hell he's been saying to them, those conversations that he had with them over the weekend. But that type of turn is remarkable.
Yeah, okay, so they're going to have a vote on the floor tomorrow. Assuming he doesn't win, they're going to know who the enemies are and who the enemies within their own party, the people who are holding out. You put maximum pressure on those. Some of those people, Mike Rogers from Alabama, chairman of the Armed Services Committee, they're going to be primaried. And he flipped. So is it any wonder? Ann Wagner from Missouri as well, more of a swing district.
I want to end here.
Yeah.
You think it's Jim Jordan, yes or no?
Yes.
You think so, Julia?
Yes.
Mick, yes? Yeah, I know you said 60-40.
Yes, but it might not be on the first ballot. He might have to shame some people first.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.